Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas Ruse Bazar with the Poet Warriors coming back at you. Let's do a quick update on the submissions for Seeing the Elephant, my novella that I talked to you about last week about the query, synopsis, the beta readers. Got another glowing review from another beta reader of mine. So that's 3. Again, you know, I want their honesty. I want their insight. I want their help. One of them really pointed out something about the work that was very important that I didn't pick up on, and so I changed. They're minor things, but they made a difference. All right, I sent out to about 30, a mix of agents, a mix of small presses. And so far, I got one back, a rejection. I got from a small press, and the gentleman said, "Oh, we don't publish novellas," because remember, this is 31,000 words, it's novella size, probably about 120 pages, kind of around 115. And sadly, he said, "Well, if you published with us before a novel, we would have published this novella." And this is something that I'm a little bit perplexed by, because if the work is good and the work stands out, what difference does it make? I mean, I remember there's another novella that I love that I read, and I actually taught back in the day, called Train Dreams by Dennis Johnson, very famous American novelist. He did Jesus is a Son, Tree of Smoke, I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, several books. Very well-known 20th century, 21st century American fiction writer. And he did this book called Train Dreams, very much about the kind of expansion of the West, this very thin novella size, and kind of similar, I believe, in the page count, and maybe even his was a little bit smaller. But yes, he had a reputation. Yes, it kind of came later in his life after he published books and larger books and novellas, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I remember that book. It was so powerful, and it was, you know, you can read it in a day, within a day. But the experience felt that it was so full. There was a fullness to this novella that he wrote. And not to sound arrogant, I believe, and what I'm hearing from others, my book has the same thing. It has, you know, it's a novella, yet it has a fullness of a novel. And it's just kind of frustrating where, God, you know, I believe, I don't know what it is, because I think if you read in and overthink and read into it too much as a writer, oh, what are they looking at? Oh, I didn't do this. I should have done that. Look, researching these agents takes a lot of time. You know, there's so many different sites, like check out Manuscript Wish List is one site, Query Tracker, Query, Agent Query is another one. There's others, Publishers Marketplace, and you have to do your research. What are comparable titles to your book? Maybe it's a mix. For me, it's a mix. Like I used Train Dreams and Roberto Bolaño's 2666. Now it was a mix of those because of the elements, the horror elements, kind of the disturbing elements of Bolaño's 2666 and Dennis Johnson's kind of Americana Western influenced novella. And other books, you know, I've seen other titles. They always want comparable titles in the query letter, or on, you know, any kind of like submission form that you send in. Anyway, I heard back from about 3 other agents, and this is quick. It was a quick response. I'm talking days. Like I sent it out on Friday, and you know, I got responses now. They're pretty form. They're kind of, it's not a fit. Thank you. You know, this is subjective, this kind of stuff. And it's a form letter. It's not something that they, you know, they took time. Now, sometimes you get, hey, look, I really like this, but it's a novella. I don't do novellas unless you're an existing author that I represent. Or some, you know, maybe they could say something. But these are basically called form rejections, you know, kind of straight to the point. So far, I've received about 4. Today, I got like 3. At least they're responding. My other book, I didn't hear anything. It just like it went into this ether, this black hole of nothingness. At least I'm getting actual responses, and they're pretty quick. Sometimes you sit around for weeks, months, and you might get lucky, then get a response. This one, so far, 3 rejections, 4 with that small publisher, 3 agents. They don't say, hey, dude, this is too... maybe it would help me out to say, hey, if this is a novella, it's 31,000 words. No, thanks. Too small, right? But then again, I kind of, when I go out into the world and I go to bookstores and I go to... Yes, are there more 80,000 to 120,000 word novels being published? Yes, but there are also smaller novellas being published by first-time writers, by writers that get translated. So it's a mix. Probably it kind of favors the longer works, the 80 to 120,000 word. Mine, it falls short of that, but I don't want to read too much into it, because I really think as a standalone work, there's a fullness to it. There's a lot of, historical research. There was so much kind of time and nuance put into it that I feel good about it. It's as a standalone work. I do believe in my heart of hearts that it's effective and it's good work. So we'll see how it goes. So far, par for the course, but at least they're responding. Even with rejections, they're responding. So that's the update I have for you for Seeing the Elephant after 1 week of querying, querying, and submitting. That's another word that we can use. And boy, it's a lot of work. And a lot of work went into that query letter, the synopsis. You're always changing up little things here and there. Some agents want you to paste it in the email. They want it as an attachment. They want you to do the form. And sometimes the form, there's a lot of them that say, hey, do this form on this thing called Query Tracker. And you don't have to have a membership or whatever, subscribe. You could just do it. Sure enough, I tried on 2 or 3 times and it didn't work for whatever reason. Who knows? This is the first time I ever did that on that thing, that it didn't work. So why? I have no idea. So it could be frustrating. You got to have patience. Of course, here I am with, this expectation that I had last week, sending out this first initial batch of about 30, to 30 agents in different places. But the positive is I got quick response. I got a response. And the rest is a little bit disheartening, because again, of course you want to be, approved, or hey, send me the full, because a lot of them, they either want just a query or the first 5 pages, 10 pages, 50 pages. And then if they really kind of get a sense of what, they like it, come on, send the full. They'll request a full manuscript. And that's very, very cool. You get your hopes up then, because it seems like they, you threw out the hook, and they bit. And that's a good thing. But so far, nada. We'll see. I'm keeping the faith. One day, somehow, some way, I'm going to get my work out into this world. It's going to happen. I got to keep the faith. As writers, you got to keep the faith. We'll see what happens. Update, Seeing the Elephant after 1 week of submitting and querying and all that. Peace.
Tasty.